Okay, so today we're diving deep into this idea of the crown. From this excerpt, Can You Bear the Crown? And when you hear that title,
Right.
you probably think about, kings and queens and all that, but
Yeah.
but that's not really what this is about.
Not at all.
It's more like a metaphor
Exactly.
for the responsibility that we all carry.
The burdens that we all have, yeah.
Exactly. So what is this crown then if it's not, a literal crown?
Well, it's interesting because the source describes it as something that, we all have, even if we don't realize it. It's not a physical object. It's this kind of symbol
Okay.
of all the different things we're responsible for, all the pressures and expectations that we kind of carry around with us.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, what kind of things are we talking about here?
Well, the source gives a few examples, like the pressure to succeed.
Right.
Just the feeling that you constantly have to be achieving more.
Mm.
And then there's the scrutiny of others, always being watched and judged.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like social media just magnifies that, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Always feeling like you're on stage.
Absolutely. And then there's, caregiving, which is a huge responsibility, whether you're taking care of children or aging parents or even just supporting friends and family.
Yeah, it's that unseen labor that people don't always acknowledge.
Right. But it goes even beyond those kind of traditional roles. I mean, think about the student who's striving for academic excellence,
Right.
or the artist who's pouring their heart into their craft.
Yeah.
They're bearing a crown, too.
Yeah, I guess it's really about anything where you feel a sense of responsibility, where you're putting yourself out there and trying to make something happen.
Exactly. So what does your crown look like?
That's a good question. I think mine has a lot to do with, work deadlines.
Sure.
Always trying to deliver the best show possible for our listeners.
Of course.
Family commitments, too, being a present parent and partner, and even just those personal goals that I set for myself.
Right.
Like trying to stay healthy and fit,
Yeah.
learn new things. All of those things feel like part of my crown.
I think we all have those kinds of things,
Yeah.
those personal goals and aspirations that we're striving for.
Absolutely. But that brings up another point from the source, this idea of the way of the crown.
Right.
What do they mean by that?
Well, it's not just about like the literal weight,
Right.
like, a heavy crown on your head.
Okay.
It's more about the unseen pressures, the sacrifices you have to make, the tough choices you have to face.
Yeah, like when you have to say no to something you want to do
Exactly.
because you have other responsibilities.
Or when you have to make a decision that not everyone's going to be happy with.
Right. Like I think back to when I had to make that career change a few years ago. It was the right move for me professionally.
Yeah.
But it definitely had an impact on my family.
Right. It's about finding that balance, isn't it?
Yeah. And, the source talks about how the crown's weight is felt most acutely when you're trying to maintain your integrity,
Yes.
when you're trying to do the right thing, even when it's hard.
Exactly. Because sometimes doing the right thing means making sacrifices or disappointing people.
Yeah. And that's never easy.
No, it's not. Have you ever felt that kind of pressure?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in this line of work,
Right.
we're constantly dealing with sensitive topics and trying to present information in a fair and unbiased way.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means pushing back against our own biases.
Absolutely.
Or challenging the viewpoints of people we respect.
Yeah, right.
It's definitely a heavy crown to wear sometimes.
But the source doesn't just leave us with this heavy crown.
Okay.
It talks about bearing the crown with dignity.
So it's not just about gritting our teeth and bearing it.
No.
There's more to it than that.
Yeah, there's this whole other layer
Okay.
about how we carry that responsibility,
And-
how we show up even when it's difficult. And the source argues that true dignity isn't about outward appearances or stoicism. It's about cultivating inner strength, about knowing your limits
Okay.
and seeking guidance when you need it.
Yeah, like not being afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
Admitting when you don't know something.
Absolutely. And also having the courage to learn from your mistakes.
That's a big one.
Yeah, because we all make them.
Oh, for sure. But that brings up another thought. Isn't there a danger in focusing too much on the weight of the crown?
Oh, that's interesting.
Could it become like an excuse
Oh, I see.
to shy away from responsibility or avoid taking action?
That's a great question, and the source actually addresses that too.
Okay.
It emphasizes that true leadership, or even just carrying your own crown well, is about service,
Okay.
not power.
So it's not about lording it over others.
Right. It's about using your position, whatever that may be, to
Yeah.
help others.
To make a positive impact.
Exactly. And it's about earning respect through empathy, wisdom, and consistent action.
Right. So it's not about using the weight of the crown as a shield
Exactly.
to protect yourself.
Yeah, or to avoid doing the hard things.
Yeah. So if we accept that everyone wears some kind of crown, the real question this source asks is, can you bear yours?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is. It's like a call to action to really look at ourselves
Honestly.
and assess if we have the strength, the courage to face our challenges head on.
To navigate those tricky situations.
Right. And to do it all while remaining true to ourselves.
And I think that's a really powerful message.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it's a reminder that the true measure of a person isn't the absence of burdens.
Right.
It's how they carry them.
It's how they show up in those difficult moments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So think about your own crown today.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Is it heavy?
Is it light?
Are you bearing it with dignity?
With that inner strength and compassion that the source talks about.
And what can you do to bear it with more grace?
Not just for yourself,
Right.
but for those around you.
That's something to think about.
It is. Lots to ponder there. Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Take care.
Bye.